Hello, Imagine You with here. How are you all going? What an interesting week. Have you noticed there's a lot of crazy energy about? Loads and loads and loads. I had a strange night last night. I woke up this morning really thinking about, really contemplating, really feeling Archangel Michael. And I just thought, what was I doing last night? And it was just as clear as anything. I was on a strategy meeting. And so and then I was contemplating Archangel Michael, and I was going, The last week's all been about Archangel Gabriel because it's all about communication. And I would like to really, at the end of this one, I'm going to bring in Michael, and I think we'll bring in Archangel Gabriel because the last week has been all about communication in the sense of freedom of information. And it's been really showing us just how nothing is transparent in this country, nothing at all, and how the executive national cabinet that was formed is in fact not legitimate, basically. That means that we can communicate that as well. It was communication to us that they're all of the rollout, everything that's been going on under this so-called national cabinet um, is illegal. So that's a big deal. But if we don't pick it up and run with that, it means nothing. It means nothing. So what was suggested is that we bring in the GG, the Governor General, which is General David Hurley. I'm just going to say, where is he? I don't recall seeing him over the last 18 months, so I don't know what's going on there. I really don't know what's going on there. But there's just to point out again that the Governor General is in fact he is the Commander in Chief of the Defence Forces, and he's also above the federal government, but we haven't seen him. So what's the Commander in Chief up to? That'd be interesting. The point is that this is a point, if we take this up and run, if we use that special numbers magic that they've used on us, which is for every one person that either sends a letter into the politicians or every one person who signs a petition. And I'm going to use the example of the one that had 300,000 signatories, over 300,000 signatories. What happens is that police and everything, they actually take it, every one letter that they receive or every one vote, every complaint or whatever, is the equivalent of 100. So you've got to add 2 zeros to absolutely all of the numbers. So if we added 2 zeros to that 300,000, it it actually means 30 million. So that's what's so interesting about it. I would say that they have ramped everything up because our population is only 25 million. 25, nearly 26. So the majority, what it says is that the absolute majority did not want that to roll on, that petition. So that petition being what it was an incredible indicator. I was only adding 1 zero, but I saw it the other day. I knew it from years ago, but I couldn't remember the exactness. And the other day I came across it. So for every one letter that is sent in, it represents 100 people for all the politicians. So that could be why they're really rolling everything out really fast. And they're bullying everyone really like intensely. It's all under duress. It's just crazy. So this one is for, the first one here is for Australia. Just going to get a little bit of a snapshot. Because, all I can see is that the illegitimacy of everything that's rolling out needs to be upheld by us. That's what I'm really getting. A great plan. Right, well, we have the absolute universe on our side. Okay, spiritual warriors, that's what I'm getting actually. We've really got to do a lot of cleaning up on the energy. Imagine if we could all get together on the same thing and clear the energy of Australia and New Zealand, what would happen? You know, if we can use our cleansing techniques, etc., it would be quite incredible. Quite incredible. So, I mean, this universe card is all about karma, okay? It's all about, no, it's not sin. Remember, that's not the equivalent of sin. Karma is a completely different thing. It is the learning ability that we learn. It's the same thing as knowing what the dark is, but not partaking in it, but getting the lesson from it and staying in the light. So karma, it's like standing by your own soul and your own soul's contract. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I will, the karma, if I actually concede and do what they're forcing upon my body and my soul, my whole big absolute contract is to not allow that to happen. Doesn't matter what the result is. I can pass over, that's fine. But that is what my challenge is. And I'm going to ask you all, what is your karmic lesson in all of this? This is serious. Absolutely. We're down to serious, serious, serious stuff. So we've got karma. Now, if I close my eyes and ask karmic council, what is the message? Everybody needs to look at their own karma and their own lessons, and to really, if you know where you stand, you know where you're standing, and nothing can really get in the way. Because how I see karma is, it's about not about being deceived by the outside world. It's about standing aligned with your inside soul alignment. Yep. It's not about sin. That's a false teaching completely. So this karma, there is karma, and we've got the Swift card going. My whole soul resonates with this wanting to be the absolute truth, that karma is a swift action to then reveal the hidden, deep things that are really, really hard to understand. And the urge to aspire to the emotional and dreaming world, that really beautiful part of ourselves that belongs to our soul, so that we can bring in all of the new things. It's the inner world. We have to do our inner world. We have to be really, 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 really brave at the moment, and plunge into the depths of our soul. That's what that's saying. So we have to work with our karma, with our own lessons, our inner world. It's swift. There's a lot of energy perhaps around as well. You also might find that there's this unexpected motivation to be able to do it, because there's so much mental activity around. There's all these ideas, actions, and again, it's communication. There's a very fast communication. So it's feeling like there is this ability for us. Today is the Lionsgate, isn't it? Today's 8 of, oh no, it's 9th. So it was yesterday. So maybe what's happened is the energy that's being bombarded on us on Earth through all of the stargates or whatever it is allowing us to receive something in a very fast manner. So that also tells me, this card also tells me that's like a meditation card as well. Like a meditation card. Alrighty, let's go moving on. Yeah. Okay, so the whole, oh wow, I'm going to actually include New Zealand in this one. I can feel it. It's the same for us. I'd say it's global as well. Great change is coming because it's a 5. 5 is a symbol of change, the way I read, and it has to do with the energy, that fire energy that is in all of us. It's a part of our nature. Have to be really careful not to be reckless with our energy. Really have to be very careful not to be reckless, because we've got the demons on one side and we've got cruelty on the other. So in fact, we're being asked, I see, and I'm just kind of going, they're cutting straight through everything. We're not even talking politics. They're talking straight to you about what is going on. Okay, just to clarify, I was saying for Australia, you know, but I'm finding that they just really want to just cut through all the crap and they just want to speak. They just want to speak. So it's to do with us, okay? Just totally with us. It's got nothing to do with the powers that be anymore, okay? That's what it's really saying to me. It's got nothing to do. They're there. They're there. But we um, are more and many. We're sandwiched between cruelty and the demons. Okay, what are we going to do? What do you do when you're in that situation? Uh, I loved what somebody said to me the other day. What's it like being held captive by narcissists? And I went, well, that's exactly what they're displaying. I see. Wow. We have got a massive thing going on. This is all to do with your soul, all to do with your spirit, all to do with your own karma, what you're here for. Okay, it is totally to do with it. We have got a strife energy, okay? Because we're sandwiched in between all of that cruelty that they have set up and all of their demonics, you know, they want to send everybody into the debauchery. That's their plan. We know that. That's the 6,000-year-old death cult. Oh, but let me say, it's falling apart. It's falling down. The structures, again, we're watching it all fall apart. So we have to have a plan because it's going to look like all of this. It's going to look like that. But inside of ourselves, we have to hold so strong. Like we really have to hold super strong in that deep commitment of why we even chose to come. Whether we came from the future or whatever it is, whether we came from other places in the universe for this time, it's all based on it. We're being called up. Okay, so I'm understanding that last night a little bit more, the strategy. We're being called up. We've got to move into our spiritual action. Okay, we must. This is a big fight. Okay, so the innocent people that we have in our communities, etc., have been caught up. Okay, so we're standing between all the cruelty and all the demonics, and we're holding our space. We know that it's debauched and it's disgusting, and it's slimy and creepy. We know that it's actually being the tower or the structures are falling down. We know that we're getting more and more understanding of what their plan was. Yeah, getting more and more understanding. But then we've got all the innocent people, all the people who don't know what we know. Yeah, and it's very sad. And it makes your heart really hurt. It's really a lot of hurt. Okay, just hold that for a moment, and then we're going to look. Okay, they're actually saying that's the revolution card. Okay, they're actually saying that we have to harness totally our inner soul energy, our highest frequency, all the things that we've hidden before, and mentally revolt. Okay, I can't go on much more than that. That is a lot. That is a lot. So I'm just going to shuffle. I'm going to just chat a little bit. So we've got two angels, yeah? I had a bit of a dream not a dream at all, actually. I just disappeared last night. I went somewhere, woke up this morning feeling that it was very close to Archangel Michael, and also that I was at a strategy meeting. So it's making more sense to me. And I was being guided to use at the end of this reading that we use Archangel Michael. Then it was Gabriel as well. Gabriel is all about communication. And if we look over the last week, we have had so many freedom of information issues coming up, the lack of transparency, etc. So it seems to be an important thing to bring Gabriel into our hearts. Michael, we have to be a little careful of because there's two sides to Michael, and you have to be careful with that in some respects. Archangel Michael is just profoundly amazing, but there's always there seems to be a little bit of a fallout with it. But so you have to choose. Basically, your battles really, really well with Michael. But what Michael represents is the simplest, and the simplest is truth and light. Okay, with his sword, truth and light. And when I'm in a big situation where there's just so many lies, I bring down a staff rather than Michael's sword under the hierarchy of it, and bring it down into the central place, Gigi's place, or big houses in the world, big houses in this country where all the power is, and bring the staff down and ask for truth and the light to fill it, because that's what we're up against, as we know, darkness. So let's hope oh, it's hard because you get shut down off for saying things, but we'll see if we can get away with it. I suppose this reading is about all of the wonderful people who are working behind the scenes. I've really been feeling, and I feel like it's at enough momentum at this point for me to even say anything. But there have been a lot of people working behind the scenes, all the people who are in the fields of professors, in the fields of law, science, all sorts of areas that are really important at the moment. Class actions are going on as well. So I got notification that there was a class action on the superannuation fees and such. So there's all sorts of things going on, and I think this is where we need to do it and do it well, because people talk about we can make things change with the voting system, but I know that it's rigged, so that's not a solution. We have to go a different way. We have to. That's not going to work for us. It's too rigged. So what have we got? What are we going to do? This is going to be this one is a message from Archangel Michael. Okay, simple as that. I think we're all at the point where we know what's going on, and we've got to deal with the dark stuff now. So this is about light. New things for Earth. It's a war about the hidden things, and don't we know it? So Archangel Michael, what would you like me to say about these? Okay. Great new things are for Earth. The war, we're all tired in the war. We're all tired, but we must hold our light deep inside. Just hold the light. Hold the light. I've done a lot of work. There's been a massive amount of work done. Massive amount of work done through the universe. Absolutely through the universe. All to do with all of the oppression. The deep, dark forces. A lot of things happening for Earth. Earthly things. A lot of wealth. A lot of change happening. A lot of change. Break down all the chains. Break down all of the... we have to overcome all the difficulties, okay? We have to get really creative in our spirit. Exciting new thoughts, things like that, okay? About how we can, in fact, have such a beautiful wealth experience here on Earth. So it's the power of prosperity. So that doesn't mean the bank account. That means that wonderful flow of so many things. It's like fulfillment of humanity, really. It's the beautiful, beautiful earthly happiness that we can actually have. And as you know, you can be happy without a big bank balance. And in fact, people that I've known in my life that have had the most massive bank balance is a bit miserable, end up turning quite cruel. So it's all about having really solid foundation. Okay, so the change is all about having a wonderful foundation and an unexpected change. Archangel Michael, what would you like to say? So it's all about bringing an abundance. Uh, so yeah, it is. It's true, isn't it? I agree with you. You know, there is so much abundance. We all have so much interference and get into so much strife. If we were to really live our soul's purpose, like I have had this experience all my life. Every venture I've gone into, it is just stopped. It's just stopped because of all the interference of people. It's just stopped because of all the strife that happens. And it's like it's its own uh, spiritual creation made up by the dark forces. It comes in, you know, it comes in. It'll stop me being able to rent the clinic that I create, or and it just kept putting me on my arse. Uh, 18 months ago, you know, not being able to see people, things like that. Um, as an example, so this energy, this great big new things are coming. Military, getting rid of the hidden, but also holding our light. We are really tired. This is the message, and we've got we've got this abundance that's available, but it's been stopped for so long. Okay, so we've got massive rebirth. So again, we've got massive rebirth, but I think that what we're being asked to do is lift our game in our soul to really align with what our contract coming in was. Um, if you have made agreements or contracts with soul that really are no longer any good, or you've been tricked into in this life, please go to the Karmic Council and break them. It's time to break contracts that we just don't need so that we can fulfill our true nature. Because we've got a truce, and the truce is that inner battle, okay? Because things are going to be falling all around us. Great big changes, massive, massive changes for new things to begin. So that will not happen until this great truce happens. All right? For the new things, for the end of things, and so that things can start flowing to us. But it says to me there's a lot more going on that we don't comprehend on a massive level. All right. Okay, let me have a shuffle and we'll see what I've got there. What I'm getting is that people are feeling incredibly isolated, and we have a massive silent majority. Massive. And if you're a part of the silent majority, most likely you're not sticking your head up, which is fair enough, because through life, many lives, you learn to keep your head down. Okay, so it's got to do with the silent majority. Interesting, because this one is like Archangel Michael for me because of the alchemy part, in the positive sense. But it's also that the Archangel Michael is knows light and dark. Okay. Oh wow, the silent majority are a whole lot of families with so much more to lose. Oh, my heart goes to you all. My heart goes to you. There's a very fierce, and this is the silent majority, okay? So the fierce and tense energy, it's real arrogance, and it's an eager adventure. That's the central energy of wow. The silent majority is going to win this for us all. And we've got this part here, which is knowing which part to do when, knowing what ingredient to put in, doing it just right. Okay, and there's lots and lots of honor. So there must be a whole lot of shifting and oscillating between light and dark going on for this card to come out. Lots and lots and lots. So this card is also about, all the contradictions that we've heard. This is perfect. Now, I don't know if everybody's come across the clip about somebody is talking about the psychosis that everybody's gone into, but it's true because it's an intentional thing. the psychosis. It's intentionally done. I would call it in my field confusion technique, where it actually makes the left rational mind actually go to sort of sleep. Okay, so I would say that this card also represents the contradictions, all of those contradictions that have been thrown around to everybody are now being sifted through the intellect and through the higher parts of ourselves. Okay, that's what this card is, sort of all the contradictions. The silent majority are actually just weighing them all up, all the contradictions in a higher fashion. We're not talking about the ones who are never going to be awake. We're talking about the silent majority, the people who haven't shown themselves yet. And of course, Bella here, very heroic energy, very heroic energy. It's as simple as that. Really heroic energy. So let me just recap here. So the Prince of Wands is that fierce, intense, almost arrogance. Yeah, there is that there right behind. So this is the silent majority, but it's enthusiastic. Okay, and they've been dealing with all the contradictions that have been going on, and they're weighing it up. And I don't know if you've noticed, I have been quite surprised by some of the most staunch asleep people are actually starting to just twig a bit. Okay, so whatever the plan is, it's kind of working quite well. And the great honor that they have done. All right. Heroism, you know this card? It's heroism. Okay. Yes. Okay, let me just really go into this one here. I believe, and I'm saying that because I'm asking about the silent majority, of course, all the cards come out differently, all depends on which angle we're coming from. But there's 6 here, the 6 of Swords, Sire. It's the spirit of knowledge, you know. It's about them investigating, it's about seeking the truth and balancing things out. You know, thinking about the whole thing. And with that, great success, great strength is happening. So they're getting their resolve, the more information that they're getting a stronger resolve. And again, it'll be either way, and that's just fine. That's just fine. And we've got success here. It's like a weighing up of what's the value of this, what's the value of that. And out of it, a great deal of strength, of energy is coming about. So people are actually starting to discover perhaps what it is that they really want in life. Really want in life, because they know that we're in strife. They know they're in strife. They know totally that they're in strife, which is really great. The thing about strife is it's a great card because it's that it starts the next stage of change. And it's next to the card of change. That's very strong. So they are going to be the face of change. So it's almost like they've got the most stamina. They're really waiting perhaps for the right time even. I mean, they've been planting fields. They've been doing all sorts of work as well, keeping a stability and like almost a safe foundation and such. The Queen of Discs. But they've been keeping the home fires burning basically and doing what they've got to do, knowing that there's strife about and change is coming. Okay, just a little in the future. Oh, well, this is all I can. This is really good. Oh, well, it is really simple. All the forces that have kept everything oppressed, and we could even go straight to an example of freedom of information, no transparency, executives making decisions that are maybe say unlawful, etc. What happens when there's a lot of oppression? We have to become self-determined, and I'm seeing that in the cards. That self-determination is in fact going to bring an end to this tyranny, so that new things can occur. And when the new things occur, things are going to flow. Everyone's going to be quite satisfied. Again, we've got the truce between the intellects. That'll be interesting. Okay. So we've got a truce. Truce energy is when we actually ever. Okay, so let's say truce. At the moment, we could apply it, which would be one issue that we want to truce on. And I would say for myself, the one truce that I want is that the Governor General steps every government, the federal down, steps it all down, gone. Yeah, everyone be held accountable because all the energy, all the thinking is all at one point, the central point. We've all got to get a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy onto one spot. So, of course, there's many of those spots that it could be, but I'm seeing the Achilles being Gigi standing down, the PM over the formation of an illegal cabinet. That would then address the states, etc. That's just the way I would look at it. If I was going to go to a central point, I would say that's the one I'd go to. But then, because it's global, it's global in the sense that it's the big picture. Just as an example, so we've got to get one thing that we need to get them to pull a truce on to stop. We need social justice. That's what this card's about, to get the social justice. But if we've got thousands of different things going on in our minds, we won't get anywhere. We have to get very solid, very crystallized in our thought, get that point, like a bullseye almost. Wow. Get a bullseye, oh, that's so funny. And get that social justice that we're after. Indolence is that sloth energy. It's when there's been no care and consideration, and I think we can all feel that there's been no care, no consideration for us at all, for the emotional, mental, for us to be able to take care, for us to have enough, like it's generalized symbolism, but it's about water, and basically the flow of water. They've kept themselves going, but we have been kept kept away from all of our wonderful abundance, basically. And with the Prince of Cups, the bridge between emotion and logic and reason. So it's the bridge between reason and emotion. Okay? So it's about not panicking. It's about getting very solid, understanding those two things, getting the balance between our reason and our emotions. It's about connecting, of course, deep inside. We sometimes have to sacrifice things, as in not the dark forces, but leave things behind. Yep. It's also love and sympathy and sincerity. It's that energy that we have that they do not have. They have that energy, we have this energy. And to know that as a central point is going to get us a long way. Perseverance furthers. That's out of the runes. Oh, I love that. Perseverance furthers. So it sounds to me like the message there is we just really need to get our understanding. Number one, how do we want life to be? How do we want life to be? We have to use our inner spiritual. It's definitely there. We have to know what we want. And we need to have a truce, which is a single point of directed thought, and knowing it. So it's a bit like, instead of wavering, silent majority, instead of wavering, oh no, they wouldn't do that, know that they would. Things like that. It's not flip-flopping anymore. It's about getting really solid. So thanks, silent majority. Thank you very much. I'll see if the cards would like another. All right, is a message from Archangel Gabriel. Okay. Earth, fire. Gabriel is saying to you that the power of a crisis, power of anxiety, and the readiness to change. The volatility, the change. increasing your experience through this growing crisis. So there's some kind of development that's being utilized here. Know that. There is some kind of spiritual growth that needs to occur. Okay. But there's also the overcoming of the crisis. Okay. There's harmony and abundance coming through it. Okay. And then when we've got this 10 of Wands, it's about the capacity to know the direction. It's about being self-righteous, intellectual characteristics of the problem, like understanding the really deep truths, okay, about all of the oppression. So this is from Gabrielle. All right. Again, this seems to be the theme. Okay. I seem to want to stick together today. All right. So again, Gabrielle's asking you to get your mental capacities in that one point, holding that prospective piece, because when we're in self-awareness and understanding, and we understand all the suffering, that gives us another level, doesn't it? It's like we have to withdraw to understand it. That's quite an understanding as well. So there's a lot of contemplation, but again, it's getting to that one point for the truce. Truce, and it may be the truth, hey? It's suffering, I would put it. It is the way that they've put everybody into the seclusion, into the isolation, and abandoning it. And this one's actually, that's a really good point. Abandoning the very things that, this one is also about abandoning our values. Yeah. So the truth, don't abandon your values. Don't abandon them. Do not. And I would say that they're using, as you know, they're using everything against you mentally at the moment. But this is also, when we're putting it into this context, it's about the wonderful energy that can be created through really practical, rational thinking. Again, okay? New horizons. It's about seeking truth. It's about that balance between spirit and nature and justice, understanding, and really comprehensive views. Okay, so this is from Gabrielle, who's all about communication. So communication through the earth, through the more earthly, material side, going into the, well, only a little bit of energy, but into the mental plane. All right. Into the mental plane. All right. So unexpected changes, expect unexpected changes. This is what Gabrielle's telling us. Expect unexpected changes, which is kind of funny, isn't it? Expect some unexpected changes. We need to use our mental capacity, not for worry, etc., but for formulating how we want things to be. Like, I know a lot of people are starting to think about how they would like to provide their future for their children, etc. And it's completely different to the structure that they grew up in, and they would like something completely different, like, even knowing how to make bread and things like that. Just really lovely, practical, earthly things. Okay, so luxury here is about stabilizing those emotions, but our hearts can be extremely full at the moment. Really, really full. It's that love that you can have sometimes with, when you've had your babes and you just, when you just love something so unconditionally, we say, got that protective thing, it's the lion part of ourselves, etc. That's there as well. So that energy, okay, where we're actually receiving enough energy that it's overflowing. Okay, so we've got to start thinking about the unexpected ways that things can change for us. So we're being asked from Gabrielle, we're being asked to get away from the worry, get away and start really thinking about how you want things to be. Yeah. Really self-contained energy. Yeah. Keep it quiet as well, because this is a new life about to sprout. All right, we've got just energy coming up in the future. So that's what we've got to be doing. We've got to be really like on a daily contemplative level, you know. Whoop. So if we're strong, we will defeat. We will. Knight of Wands. This one's about really affirming that your connection between you and Creator. Yep, no one in between. You know, as you know, the crown actually symbolizes the middleman between you and Creator, what created you, what your contract is, and what you're here for. So we go straight through that, we put it to the side, and we go straight through. That's sovereignty, but you need to know who you are. Okay, so there's that card for knowing who you are. That knowing who you are is going to take you a long way. It's going to help you gain the earthly things that need to occur. Really need to occur is knowing who you are, knowing what you like, knowing what you don't like, knowing what you're here for, understanding that this 3D world just ain't what it's all about. Okay, it's going to gain you a lot of presence. It's about really concentrating, really continuing all that hard work through all of your energies, all of your thinking, all of your flowing, all the way through so that it actually earths here. It's really calm intention that you need to really hold that calm intention of who you are. Don't be fooled by anything. Don't be fooled by the worry, etc., etc. It's about achieving it. Yeah, achieving the very energy that you're putting into it, happiness, you know, luck, satisfaction, being really material, everything adequate here in this earthly realm. So there's stuff that's coming into our earthly realm that's available. It's created here, but if we hold ourselves in our sovereignty, then we will create the other side of things that we're being really asked to step up. All the temptations, all the deceptions, all the sacrificing, and all of the renouncing of your natural instinct, okay, has all been a trick by them. So all of it's been a trick by them, that they've used a lot of magic. And this is really important that you understand the trickery that's been going on. This card really symbolizes that. The trickery that they have put upon you. Okay? Who would ever worship something like that? Well, they have. That's their business. But I've got my contract and it's different. Yep. So what are they saying here? The Magus. The magic that they've used. So we've got Knight of Cups here. Knight of Cups is that self-salvation by giving certain things up. So again, it's that certain level of sort of, sometimes we have to let go of some things to gain a great deal. So it's again being asked to do that. We've also it's saying to sacrifice all of those things that were created by that force, by that mental level. As you can see, that's the darkness. Okay, and we're being asked to gather your own inner magic, knowing what their magic is, knowing their magic, knowing their mental patterns, and to actually find a way that you can move yourself away from that and connect up with your deeper, higher part of yourself. That how holds all that love and sympathy and warmth, yeah? Not the selfishness and the lack of sensitivity. And by knowing basically what's been used on you. So that is going to help bring those forces in, okay? Those forces of truth in. Okay, so I really feel like we need to do a focus. And I'm just going to bring that there. And I would like to select one beautiful card. I would really like the universe is immense. The universe is immense. I'm bringing down a column of light, pure light from Creator Force, not illumination, but light. The pure light of we the light warriors, the warriors of the light that have contracted to be here for this time, that are under or are able to use Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. We are now bringing down the forces through us, pure, sparkling, refined energy of truth and light. Light is truth, and truth is light. And our every cell, muscle, tissue, and organ in our body is now being absolutely brightened by this dynamic energy. And now Archangel Gabriel is bringing down the light into us as well. And Gabriel is now going to help us to be the best communicators, helping to clarify all communications in the light of the both, through you, sending out that light. We're going to ask that Archangel Michael and Gabriel bring their light through us. We are the conduit. And the light of truth and communication is now spreading out of our feet into Earth's crust, underneath our feet. Whether we're in Australia, New Zealand, America, or Africa, it doesn't matter. It is now spreading out, and it is becoming so bright. It's a veil of light and truth and communication that then covers the entire Earth. And it's resonating all over the Earth. And it's now going down through the crust of the Earth's center, hollow, and out the ends of the Earth, that we're now creating a toroidal field of Archangel Michael and Gabriel energy. The truth is resonating through. The truth of light, love, compassion is being now communicated with Archangel Gabriel through absolutely every part of this earth. And each and one of us standing on this earth, we are now sending our heart's love to each other. That we create a structure of love, truth, communication. We are all joined together in consciousness of light and love and communication. And from each corner of the earth, from each part of the earth, we're all holding hands, and this energy is running, flowing through us. We are all connected. Hundreds of thousands and millions and even billions of us. We now extend our love and our resonance of truth and light and communication out of the Earth's atmosphere into the universe. And we are now demanding at our hearts of heart that the earth be flushed with the truth, that it be communicated clearly, that we ask for help from all beings in the universe to help us get through this. And in turn, we send you our love. But we ask for help. We're now sending all of this energy through the Earth's crust and through all of the people on planet Earth, spreading through each and every consciousness under the simple laws of the universe, for it's for the highest good, and if it's karmically correct for each and every individual. We're sending it through everybody. We're asking that the truth and the light, through communication, the absolute pure communication, that our message of the truth and the light, the truth dwells here, far outweighs the other. And that light itself is now carrying all of that away, all the things that are other. It is leaving us. We are purging it because it does not belong anymore. It does not belong here anymore. Our souls are here to feel the love, the prosperity, the abundance, not to be suppressed or oppressed, but to be free beings, to be the true school that we are meant to be, the school of learning, evolving consciousness. Our consciousness is cleansing. I can feel the consciousness cleansing. And the light is merging through absolutely everything on earth. We're going to bring that energy back to ourselves, totally cleansed, totally pure, cleansed to the center of the earth, out to your total where you feel your creator is. Where creator is, that energy that created me and my purpose. And I thank and I ask right now that I please purge all conditions inside of me that seemingly are confused, and I now align truly with me and with creation's purpose. Pure, I am a child of God. For Christ's sake is in me. Pure light. And I love you all, and if you want to just stay in that, just keep it going. And I love you all. And I'll see you next week. Actually, I'm going to probably see you again through the week because I've got something special for you.